I'm back again.
Come on, Ian, man. Come on. That's a bit weird. I don't know why it was like that, but nonetheless, people, Deluded, I'm back again. Big up you lot tuned in now. Allegedly, Calafiori has picked up an injury, people, where Italy is concerned. We're still linked with Benjamin Sesko and Osimhen, and allegedly David Ornstein's been speaking. Now, I know Arsenal fans, like, it can't get any worse, can it, really and truly, where the injuries are concerned? And this script of a season in terms of the Premier League and in the injuries and the missed opportunities in the summer and January and the issues we have around certain players and question marks over the manager. It's been a cruel script, man. Definitely, when you look at it against the backdrop of the previous 2 seasons, I don't think, you know the saying, people, you start as you mean to go on. That comes to mind, and that's consistently come to mind where my football club's concerned this whole season, because I can't say we got the summer spot on. I don't feel we really, the first 5 games, we looked a bit shaky. Obviously, we've been chugging along and we're sat second when all of those kind of things, but it does feel like a missed opportunity, of course, where the League Cup, where the Premier League, where the FA Cup's concerned, there's plenty of what ifs and coulda, wouldas, and shouldas. Now we hope the Champions League can be a dream. Now, I can't urge panic with Calafiori, but it's almost predictable. It is predictable. International break and people get injured. And for the rest of our players that are traveling away with their countries and competing for their nations, and to be honest, such as this season, because Kai got injured in Dubai, Mikel Merino, who scored today, got injured in training. Wherever you lot are, yeah, please make sure you're looking after yourselves, because as it stands, we can barely put out a squad, much less 11. Merino's playing up front. Again, he scored today, so yeah, we're gonna need you to continue doing that, man. If you're new here, subscribe, smash the like button. The Arsenal Perspective has said, where is Berta? I don't know, but wherever he is, what can he do? Unless there's some crazy player that's a free agent that's better than Lionel Messi and all of those sort of things right now, it's a myth. All he can do is look at our squad in situations like this, see what the initial plans were prior to him coming and obviously becoming the sporting director at Arsenal, seeing if, yeah, those plans, that's the right direction. No, let's do something else and just build for next season. There's nothing Donny can do, man. Like, on the face of it, I don't want to panic and exaggerate. Isolate Calafiori, I'm therefore panicking. But in terms of our squad, I think we got a good base. And again, it's a case of coulda, woulda, shoulda, and this and that, and needing to do other things. But it's not terrible. It's not like we need, well, to be fair, you could make a case of numerous players, but it's not like we need 20 players and where it's proper rubbish and none of these players are good enough type of thing. But when you really look at it, once again, smash the like button. Considering we've been fighting for a title for 3 years, a lot of these players are going to be here next year. That's 4. Give or take, a couple of these players have been, here as long as Mikel Arteta. When you look at just where squad progression and evolution, of course, we did little things here and there, but we need to, I don't want to say we need to change a lot, and I'm going to sound like a hypocrite, but we do need to change a lot. You look in our central midfield, if we just focus on who plays instead of, behind Odegaard, you've got Declan Rice, okay, Merino's come in, Partey's gone, you haven't got Zubimendi through the door. Some people would make a case of, I want 2 8s and a 6, I want a 6, I want an 8, I only want 1 midfielder, I want someone that could play in Odegaard's role as well as either a 6 or an 8. Clearly, we need another creative, versatile player, ideally someone that is 9 times out of 10 going to play on the left and obviously can play instead or provide competition on the right-hand side for Bukayo Saka. Add an asterisk with Ethan, he can play in a couple of roles, but we're letting him develop. We know we need a striker. It's on brand with Arsenal in the last few transfer windows. Goalkeepers and defenders, we need to address that area as well. Now, whether we're going to do all of that and give the new deals and all of that to Saka and Magalhaes and William Saliba, who, to be fair, France defensively looked to shambles based on the highlights I saw, is another thing. We need a couple of goalies. Again, we'll get into it, but yeah, Calafiori picked up a knock, man. Big up my guy Nick, man, Football Club FC, Football Club, Mike Aussie guy. Make sure you're subscribing. Does some good reaction videos. Look like the Trent one versus PSG, but on his knee. I mean, with Calafiori, he's a concern naturally where the injuries are concerned, man. Like, he can't stay fit. I like him. Think he needs to go on a intensive crash course in every aspect of defending, because you only really look comfortable defensively in the back 3 for Italy, which unfortunately got injured today. Whether you're going to be a centre-half or a left-back, you need to work on that. But I like him in the middle third. I think there's a lot to work with the 22-year-old. I'm not saying he's the bee's knees, but I haven't turned my back on him. He's the youngest in the squad when you negate Miles Lewis-Skelly and obviously Ranieri. Of course, there's been a couple of Haaland kids and whatnot, but the ones that don't count, they've just been on the bench. But yeah, I mess with him. But Yeah, man, it don't look good. I want to wait until proper confirmation comes out. Naturally, it's gonna be panic settings, but not gonna lie, man. I'm a big fan of Calafiori. I'm a big fan of Tomiyasu, but it looks like, and I know I'm being a bit lazy in my analysis, but it looks like we've been sold a couple of faulty goods, man. These iPhones are not charging. Something's going on. And I want to back him. Big up Kyle, because you always say I want to rebuttal Kyle's point here when he's saying we are big settings, but I ain't got a leg to stand on. I don't. Can't believe he's injured again. These international breaks always kill us. They do. And everyone, whether you're Muslim, Christian, Buddhist, even atheist, please make sure you pray for our squad, because Thomas Partey, who's missed the last couple of internationals with Ghana, he's went off and played for them. Obviously, Lewis Skelly's living the dream with England. A couple of our players are dotted around, man. We do have a couple 1-2 fragile defenders, man. Zinni's up there. I think Zinni gets... I don't want to, injuries. No one wants to get injured, but Zinchenko don't really go out for a long period of time. It's always 1 or 2 weeks, then he's back, and it keeps happening. So no one really gets onto him. But Zinni picks up. Everyone picks up knocks, but Zinni picks up knocks. Tomiyasu picks up knocks. Tierney, the one big red flag over him. As much as we love him, he picks up knocks. Tomiyasu, Calafiori, Tierney, Zinni. So that's 4 off the bat. I wouldn't say Lewis Skelly. He's been injured, but he's not a frequent one there. Timber's had an ACL, so we have to allow him, and he's been ever present. Yeah, man. And who else is there defensively? Yeah, man. And the best trait you could have is being available. Again, I asked ChatGPT, I'm not going to lie. At this moment in time, Arsenal have technically played 41 games in all competitions. How many of these players, and I'm not saying we don't get injuries and suspensions and, all of those things, but how many of the players have been ever present? Bearing in mind, whatever you have to say about Kai Havertz, Martinelli, Bukayo Saka, these guys are typically available for the duration of the season for club and country. They've picked up knocks. Rice has picked up a knock. It's been a theme of ours, man. And again, if we want to go to be the next level, I don't feel a lot of these players that are necessarily injury prone are bad players, but, Tierney, I think he could do a job here. And again, ironically, he got injured in the summer. That's the reason he's still at the club. But he picks up knocks. Tommy picks up knocks. Jesus picks up knocks. Partey is Mr. Injury, unfortunately. Tomiyasu, Calafiori, Zinchenko, the list goes on. We ain't really got that many durable players. Like, who would you lot say are durable? I'd say Timber. He's had an ACL. Timber's there. Timber, what? Let's disregard the goalies. Timber, Gabriel, Saliba, Lewis Skelly, White. White's even, White's played been played into the ground like Saka. Saka typically, Kai Havertz typically, Declan Rice typically, Martinelli typically. I want to, and there's obviously a lot of others. I want to throw Trossard in there, but I think he's even picked up knocks. Fit or not, the volume of games played is now unprecedented, Drew, and that's the nasty thing, man, and that's the horrible thing. We all know that's a deeper question, and you're bang on a deeper conversation. Sorry, and you're bang on the money. Player welfare is it's not getting any better. We all know that it's not getting any better. Champions League is more games. There's more games at international level. Of course, from a club level, us, like every other club, you want to go as far as you can in all the comps. I don't know how many games that is technically in 4 cups. There is that. They're being run in the ground. But unfortunately, nothing is going to change in that. So, and you know me, I'm not a big fan of this player needs rest and whatnot. But do we need to take matters into our own hands? Either make sure we've got a big enough squad. It's all for people more intelligent than me, but it can't be a coincidence. Half the players we buy seem to get injured. Is there something we're not doing internally in terms of our recovery and all of that? Is there something to look at in recruitment? Can we just do that? But it's unfortunate. These footballers are guinea pigs. That's why, for me, I always say, if anyone deserves the money in today's day and age, it's the footballers. They're the ones playing. If every footballer across every country and whatnot said, we're not kicking the ball anymore, I don't know what we're talking about on this YouTube channel for starters, and nobody's watching nothing. But it's not going to stop. They're jetting off over, pre-season and whatnot. Players don't get rest. Mentally more than anything, but they don't get rest. When the season ends, a lot of them will go on holiday with their family and all of those things. But as you lot all know, they might go out with their kids and loved ones, but they're still doing their own training. We all follow them on Instagram. They've got the PTs and all of that. That's because when you get back in for preseason and you're doing, you're being weighed and they're seeing you physically, you're already on the back foot. And many footballers, when you listen to their interviews and that, they all kind of allude to the worst time to get injured is at the start of the season because you're already against the backdrop. Is the training ground the problem? Who knows, man? Is it recovery? Is it just a profile player? Is it the deeper question of many games? I don't know, man. I think the only solution is bigger squads. And indirectly, I wouldn't say you're seeing it, but you're somewhat kind of seeing it, that a lot of Premier League clubs are having quite a few more, whether they use them or not, academy players on the bench or having to integrate them into the first team. It's mad. It could be at this point, it could be anything, man. It's one where really you'd love to sit down with the gaffer, you'd love to sit down with Calafiori and all of that. I know he's had a long-term injury in his career, and I wonder if there's a theme of getting a long-term injury and then you just become kind of picking up knocks week in, week out. Can't judge a player half a bad games. Not sure what you mean there. That's the MCL or ACL. Second time he's had a non-contact injury. Saka before this injury. Who cares about these international games? Club over country all day, every day. I'm over Cala. Big up BG. He's got quality, but can only be used as a squad player since he's so injury prone. And again, it's above my head, but they always talk about, like, you know, a lot of these foreign players always say, like, when they ask them about the premise, the intensity, it's the intensity. It's not getting any less intense. So is there something to be said there? Watch how closely today he was looking bare shaky. Brother, he's 19. I hear it. He's 19. He's a work in progress. But trust me, he's good, man. Look how long it takes defenders to get there. I don't want to use Gabriel as a case study, but he's... let's be real. Let's keep it honest. He's one of the best, if not the best pairing, give or take, maybe with Liverpool's, depending on where you go in terms of centre-half pairings. Individually, he's up there in world football. Where was he at 22 years of age? Same age as Calafiori. Now, not everyone's going to have that fate, but I always feel where I look at goalkeepers, centre-halves and strikers, sometimes you have to be wary. Isaac was a talented player, but now you can't barge Isaac off the ball and he's a lot more polished. We all remember a couple of years ago how stinky he was at the Euros. So, yeah, man. 50 people in the building, not even 10 likes. Let's do better. Most underrated, man. We're never going to get out. Evening, man. Big up you lot who have hit the like. It's kind of crazy saying club over country. It all depends, man. Listen, there's probably no higher honor than playing for your country, representing your country and all of that. But I do feel sometimes, especially with what's going on with your club, can you pull out of these internationals? I actually think Cole Palmer's injured, because why would you be missing out of the Arsenal game? But he's another one that always pulls out of international G. What's DG waffling about today? Marcel, go away, man. Anyone would think you're a troll, man. Go away, bro. But yeah, if we get into this, Calafiori was forced off due to an apparent knee injury in the closing stages of Italy's 2-1 loss to Germany in the Nations League quarterfinal tonight. Let's hope it ain't nothing serious, man. Again, people still don't know what's going on in that regards, man. And you look at it, it looks a bit dark there, man. It was off the ball again. Want to wait till test. Unfortunately, especially with injuries off the ball, every day is going to draw up a new conclusion in it. So you can't really even draw too many conclusions, but it don't look good. And it's not what Arsenal fans want to hear. It's definitely for those of you, and I appreciate you lot who support me. Unless you're Marcel, who don't support Arsenal in the chat, it's probably not the YouTube title headline you wanted to see. Arsenal will be sweating over the fitness of Calafiori after the defender was forced off with an injury in the closing stages of Italy's loss to Germany on Thursday night. I mean, speaking of Germany, Kai Havertz is obviously injured as well. The centre-back attempted to quickly change direction during injury time, right at the end. I didn't watch the game. And slipped on the turf as his left knee buckled underneath him. So is it the molds? Is it the boots? What's going on? Calafiori received treatment on the pitch and was able to get back to his feet, but told the medical team that he could not continue playing. Speaking after the game, Luciano Spalletti said of Calafiori, he said that his knee feels strange, but cannot answer more precisely than that, so we'll have to see. And then apparently he was seen limping when leaving the San Siro. And when asked about his knee, he replied, I still don't know, which he don't know, because I'm sure there's scans and there'll be more scans in the morning and all of that kind of stuff. But it would have been nice if we heard him say he's all right. Calafiori has already seen his debut season with Arsenal disrupted by 4 separate injuries, which have seen him sit out 16 games for club and country since last summer. It will be a huge concern to Arsenal and Mikel Arteta, who's had to juggle several injuries to his squad this season, people. Boy. Right at the end of the game as well. 92nd minute. It's okay, man. It's okay. It's okay. I don't know what to say. The issue must be evaluated. Since this is left knee, we'll be cautious because the twisting was totally unnatural. He said he don't know. Twisting sounding unnatural. This is sounding very, very scary. We just have to keep him in our prayers. And But the wickedest thing is, we know how we got here in it. We know what we should have done in January. We know what we should have done in the summer. We know the talking points, and I'm not here to bore you lot with that. But he's one of our attacking threats at this moment in time, and now he's gone. And boy, you're hoping none of our left backs get injured, because boy, you got Lewis Skelly. We ain't really got faith in no one else but Lewis Skelly. Kivior might do a shift there. You don't really want to move Timber over there. So yeah, it's a bit of a shame, man. It's a bit of a shame. We got Kai Havertz, Jesus, Tomiyasu, Timber, and obviously Bukayo Saka, who's apparently close to being fit, injured, man. And you look at his numbers, like he's only been limited to 26 appearances of the 40 odd we've played in all comps. He's only played 928 minutes in the Premier League as well. Sad, man. Look, calf problems, knee injuries, muscle injuries. Yeah, it's a madness. It's an absolute madness. And then you look at Tomiyasu, who's also a fullback, also played in Italy, also played for Bologna. Have they sold us dodgy motors? I love Tomiyasu, but again, you have to be available. He's only played 6 minutes, and that was coming back from an injury. So it's dark. And again, with Calafiori, like, focusing just on Arsenal, we all know he came to our football club off the backdrop of having a serious injury early on in his career and several other things. Since he signed for Arsenal, there's been calf problems, knee injuries, muscle injuries. So yeah, man, it is what it is in that regards. And I've read this a couple of times, but it brings you back to the Sun's interview with Keith Elderman, a former chief at Arsenal, who said, if you look at the wage bill and the playing squad they have, you have to conclude that they've spent their money unwisely. At the end of the day, the board has got to be responsible. Everybody is, man. Speaking of fullbacks, allegedly, the ITKs of this world say Lewis Skelly is seen as having future captain potential due to his mentality of a seasoned veteran. Hope he makes his debut tomorrow, man. I don't know why I've still got that with Petit. I was just reading that off my own accord. Apparently, Arsenal are keeping a close eye on Leroy Sané's contract situation at Bayern Munich, as he could join on a free transfer. Nico Williams bagged again, people. I can't lie. Let's take the punt, man. I'm convinced and I'm not convinced. I'm just not sure. But I do think you got potential. At this point, F it, man. No player has completed more dribbles than Nico Williams in the Europa League this season with 28. He scored again for Spain today, people. We can't get Yalmal, let's face it. Apparently, Nico Williams will not join Barcelona unless he's guaranteed a starting role. Arteta just lied to him, man. In my mind, I still got small hope Martinelli will look like the Martinelli we thought we would get one day if he stays. Nico Williams will be moving mad. Trossard is dark, man. Double M, Mikel Merino bagged. Mikel Merino came off the bench for the final 10 minutes and scored a last gasp equaliser for Spain in their 2-2 draw with the Netherlands in the Nations League quarter-final tonight. During Timber was unavailable due to illness, considering he's had an ACL and obviously missed out the Euros. I'm sure he misses playing for his country, but thank the Lord you didn't play today. David Raya's a goalie. He was obviously going to be an unused substitute. Ben Jacobs has said on our striker pursuit, people, that Arsenal like Isaac. He's a dream target, the number one target, but all of us have number one things we'd like in the world that are very unlikely to happen. Is Isaac genuinely available? Berta will get a quick read on that. If he is, he becomes Arsenal's top choice. If he isn't available, I'd be relatively confident in saying that Arsenal would make a significant play on Sesko. He's sold on the project. Sesko to Arsenal has a very high percentage chance, but they won't pull the trigger until they know the Isaac question. We've got to be proactive. David Ornstein said there's currently no understanding that Arsenal would like to sign Bruno Guimaraes, so we knew that was worse. Odegaard, when was probably asked in jest as a joke about any former teammate of at Real Madrid he would have signed, he said Vinicius. I mean, could you imagine Vinicius in an Arsenal shirt? And then let's wake up. Allegedly, Arsenal and Manchester United have to get their elbows out if they are to sign Victor Osimhen in the summer. This is the Daily Mail. Apparently, Osimhen has scored 31 goals in all comps when he was at Napoli, and they won their first Scudetto in 33 years. He got 17 goals last season. He's bagged 26 currently on loan at Galatasaray, who are running away with the Turkish league. Say what you want, for someone that was selling water bottles on the streets of Nigeria, obviously been paid a lot, about to win a Turkish league, I assume, created history at Napoli, you might as well go to Saudi, bro. But yeah, I'm sure many of you would, if you're an Arsenal United fan, you need a striker anyways. You hear United are in issues because they're not going to get Champions League football if they don't win Europa. For Arsenal, I don't think we're going for Osimhen. It's nothing to do with ability. I'm having him. I think he's a quality striker, but I keep saying this. It feels a bit like when Ivan Toney was linked with all the clubs, ultimately ended up in Saudi. You can make a case of PSG tried to sign him last season. Arsenal been linked with a forward. United at a point it felt like Osimhen was going to go Chelsea. Spurs were even linked. Why did nobody sign him? Like, was it the agent fees? Was it his wage demands? Is there something, some sort of concern with Osimhen that you'd only know, obviously, if you work in the world of football like that? I don't know. Allegedly, he's got a 63 million release clause, but Napoli know his contract is up in 2026 or 2027 at most. They hold the option to extend it. Arsenal United will face competition from Juventus and Barcelona. If you're a Juventus fan, imagine they get Osimhen and Lookman, two players they're linked with, for his signature in the summer, according to reports in Italy. I think it's all WAS people. Galatasaray also appear eager to try and retain his services, although it would be a major coup for them to capture one of Europe's most wanted strikers in the prime of his career. I'm not too sure if that's the case. Allegedly, Osimhen will announce his decision in April. At the moment, 5 of the world's top clubs are interested in him. His arrival here was a dream. He came, and for now, he's playing with us. In January, there was talk of a transfer, but he stayed. He loves Galatasaray very much. We hear there was a break clause. Clearly, nobody took that up on that. Right now, he's the dream of all our rivals. Although we're focused on winning the title, we have not had direct discussions with Victor yet. There is no point in talking about it now. Galatasaray, a top-level club. If it weren't, Victor wouldn't have come. His stay at Gala is not as impossible as it may seem. Apparently, Juventus see him as a candidate to replace Vlahovic, who, ironically, Arsenal used to get linked every day with people. So we'll have to watch that. Allegedly, people, Brentford are bracing for interest in Brian Mbeumo in the upcoming summer transfer window. I'm having him, people. I'm not going to lie to you. Newcastle, Arsenal, and Liverpool allegedly are all keeping a close tab on the 25-year-old who's taking his output to a new level for the Bees this term. He's currently out of contract in 2026. Is there something to do with giving Trossard over there? Like, we hear there was Premier League interest in Kivior. You want him? I'm having Mbeumo. Apparently, Brentford hold the option to extend his deal by a further 12 months. Also, they're in a bit more of a position of strength than I thought. Sources say the London club would have to break their wage structure to offer the Cameroon international a long-term new contract. So, yeah, I mean, Newcastle would be a good signing for them. Respectfully to Josh Murphy, he's been good for them. Could you imagine Isaac, him, maybe, and Gordon on the left? Forget about it. The Bees are also aware it would cost big money to replace both Mbeumo and Wieser in the same window. Do you know what's mad, yeah, with Brentford? You'd have to ask Thomas Frank or Brentford fans, and I'm sure they miss Ivan Toney, and these players were there already. But you see what happens when you build a squad properly? Because I'm yet to see Brentford anything be said about, they miss Ivan Toney. That could come, that could have been said, but Wieser scoring goals for fun, and Mbeumo is bagging for fun. And I'm sure a lot of you have FPLs and you're part of my FPL league. They're involved. Wieser is also out of contract in just over 12 months. Ooh, spare thought for Brentford, boy. We're going to buy Gabriel Jesus. He's fit in December, man. Thomas Frank side are no stranger to selling their top players, as we know. Boy, good scouting, but boy, interesting summer for Brentford. Arsenal, Real Madrid, and Barca rival Liverpool for Virgil van Dijk replacement. So, yeah, we've been linked with Schollerbeck before, and we've been linked with him again. Interestingly, I remember when he was name dropped by David Ornstein. So maybe there's some a year or so ago. So maybe there's some interest in there. Allegedly, there's increasing interest in Schollerbeck from the Premier League, where both Arsenal and Newcastle are touted as suitors, while La Liga giants Real Madrid and Barcelona are both said to be monitoring the situation. Dortmund, for their part, hope to tie the 25-year-old down to a new contract and are keen to prove their commitment to Schollerbeck by making him the next team captain. But there is an acceptance that they're very unlikely to qualify for Champions League. It could prompt player sale. So it seems like WAS, and he's in the last 2 years of his deal. So maybe the interest is not as deep as they're trying to make us lead on. We have a bloody Champions League to play for and top four. Why is Arteta risking it, sending players on international duty? I can't believe that sanction. That, to be fair, your hands are tied. You can have a conversation, but I swear they're not allowed to do that. And do you really want to stop someone? But you are right, though, man. Like it, and not just us, a lot of people. Can someone tell me is international duty optional? I guess you could turn it down. I would have loved my players to just pull out with injuries, but it's a techie subject. If I was a manager, I'm not gonna lie, like I don't think I would tell my players not to go. But there would be the one occasions, two occasions, maybe in a predicament like this where I say, you know what, can you just say you're injured? But you got to remember there's a Euros and all of that kind of stuff next season. I'm sure a lot of these players want to be there. Some managers will pick players because they know how they are rather than their form. I don't think you should ever tell a player you can't play for your country, but it was bound to happen and it is quite predictable. That's where I'm in agreement. Ask an Argentinian if Messi winning the Champions League for Barca was more important than him winning the World Cup for Argentina. I would take a South American World Cup win over a Champions League. I hear that, but brother, like, boy, you're better than that. Stop trying to be edgy and do the hipster thing. You're not South American, so that's all tired, man. Like, I'd rather win the World Cup over the Champions League, regardless of where I'm from. That's the pinnacle of world football. I hear what you're saying. The passion thing is crazy. And obviously, you'd have to ask an Argentinian who they hold in high regards, Maradona or Messi, but it felt like you needed to win that World Cup to get that, and felt like it evaded him. But that's the beautiful thing about football. Sesko seems to be the more realistic option. I think you're bang on in that regards, man. You know, he ain't getting always like, it is what it is. Get Hatto simple. I'm on all of that. Every single international break this season, we've got an Arsenal player injured. It's actually insane. Can't be asking players to give up international caps. Exactly. That means a new left back in the summer of a big injury. We're probably going to get one anyways. Trust our players to get injured in injury time. Bro, 92 minutes. 92 minutes. Big up my guy, Aaron Talks Football. Make sure you're subscribing to the channel. Why does this news surprise me? Why does this news not surprise me? Because we've been here, done it, wore the t-shirt many a time, man. And the only thing I would say is maybe I can urge somewhat caution because we do have to wait until we actually hear the extent. But with Calafiori's track record, with us Arsenal fans being here before and been around the block, just got to prepare for the worst and hope for the best. This is the house we built, DG. Yep. National teams should pay compensation to clubs when injuries happen because it just it's just a setup at this point. I swear that happens anyways. And I want to say on the topic of international duty, I don't want to be that guy, but it's very funny seeing Højlund score anyways. It's extra funny him doing Cristiano Ronaldo celebration. I find it very intriguing. Not necessarily that Højlund did that. I don't give a monkeys about what Højlund did. It's more the talking points by the people who write the media narratives. Boy, it's very different when Lewis Kelly did the Haaland thing. Hato was thinking out the place today, man, my word, and he got sent off and cost his team a win. It's a young player. It's bound to happen. These things have to happen. I'm still having him, though, but yeah. And that's the annoying thing, because if Arsenal had him, people be saying, oh, is this what Arsenal bought and whatnot? Appreciate the super chat, my boy. Bro, is Madrid actually taking Zubimendi? Until he's holding an Arsenal shirt, saying I grew up watching Thierry Henry and all them guys, anything's up for grabs. All these journalists can say until they're blue in the face how we really want him. We've done the talks. There's a general belief at Arsenal that he's going to sign for us. I don't doubt that. But at the end of the day, I'm not on the ground. I'm not dotting I's and crossing T's. I don't have no inside information at Arsenal, so I can only deal with what's in front of us. And until I see on Sky Sports, deal agreed. A bit like you saw this week with the two lads from Sporting with Chelsea. Until it's that, it's a myth, man. What about Gyökeres or Lookman or Thuram? I don't think we like the look of Gyökeres for whatever reason. Lookman, I feels paper talk, but I'm having him. Thuram's proving me wrong, but I'm still not key. I'm not having him, By default, I'm having him. Beggars can't be choosers. Look at what we've got. But they're talking about 70+ million. If you're into Milan, he's a key player for you. Plus, if you're selling to a Premier League club, Premier League's got money. Not only have the Premier League got money, the Premier League clubs are all up here with the finances. These teams are down there. So you're going to zang them. You're going to have to pay the tourist price. Man, bring me Kirkes in the summer. Put Lewis Kelly in midfield. Put Calafiori as a bench option. I hear it. Kirkes, but hey, I'm sure internally at Bournemouth, that's the one they think's gone. I don't know if Semenyo will be gone. I don't know if Clive will be gone. Depending on what happens with managerial changes, Areola, I look at the managers with the greatest of respect to the clubs they're at, but Areola and Thomas Frank, I feel if anybody in the traditional top six or like any team that gets Champions League football or even, the historical top six, any of you lot lose your job, these lot are going to be in the frame. Areola slept on. He's got the best pressing team in Europe. Statistically, it's quite interesting how he sets up, and especially this season. My head's gone. We have had injuries every break. This is not normal. A lot of professional footballers dream of playing for their country. They're not fans. Only fans think international football is useless. Arteta would play Scolaback at left back. That's what the Athletic actually said was the angle. And obviously he could play centre half. I mean, he's not better than Gabriel Magalhaes, but they might say, you know what, we'd have him, we'd have Calafiori, a couple options that can play left-sided centre-half. There's a certain flooring. If Gabriel Magalhaes Saudi rumours are real and 100 million, the club have a decision to make. Oh, apologies, my boy. I apologise. It's late. Dyslexia coming out. We have to tell players not to go on international duty, then you failed at squad building. We failed at squad building anyways, man. We've all known that. We've all known that. We kicked a problem up the road. We thought there would be no worst case scenarios because the two previous, 2022, 23, we didn't have any injuries really, but the one we had was Saliba and it derailed the season. Of course, that's very different to this landscape, but the alarm bell should have went off at our football club. If we want to be a team that at the time we're in 2022, 23, want to consistently be winning leagues and whatnot, we can't afford, we need to have better depth. Last season, we still had injuries. Timber, we missed a year from Timber, and God knows what he would have done. Partey was touch and go, and he only really came into the team towards the final stretch. Tomiyasu, unfortunately to Tomiyasu, you're a regular where injuries are concerned. We came into this season, and of course, it's unprecedented, but did we do all we could to make sure we had depth? No. Even when we had the last chance saloon in January for whatever reason, and I'm past the point of this player weren't good enough, powder dry, all of that kind of stuff. You lot take that where you want to take that. It's just, for me, it's the fact that we didn't do anything. And like clockwork, Martinelli gets injured. And we're at where we're at, man. Night shift business, let's go. Bring Diamande as well, centre back. Arsenal going to pay that money for him, though. How looks like it could be done for 40-odd million quid because it don't look like he's signed a new deal. We've got the Ajax link. Timber chat to him, it could happen. Diamande allegedly sporting us saying 80 million. We're not doing that. As long as Gabriel Magalhaes and Saliba here, we're not paying 80 million, getting them to sign new deals, maneuvering up front, doing what we need to do on the flanks, in midfield, etc. Who are the players you want at Arsenal? I want Isaac. I want Kareem Adeyemi. Would love Ryan Cherky. Just want players that are serious, not really injury prone, and can do a thing, man. Checked out that barrier shoot from Atletico. That guy's a baller, but is Arteta the right coach for a player like him? I don't know, man. Arteta has a superpower. He saps the tech out of ballers. Damn. Lautaro Martinez going to cost an arm and a leg. I'm not as keen on him as I was before, but boy, because for the money that I think Inter are going to ask for, whether you believe he's of the same level as Isaac or he's better than Isaac or whatever, you might as well, whether it happens or not, you might as well start seeing what could happen on the Newcastle front. There's a bunch of Italians that people want to sign who aren't catching smoke for yesterday's loss. The only thing we can get over the line for is a player gets injured during the international break. Also, guys, if the country you're from handed you a call up, can you turn it down for a club like Arsenal? Yeah, but I hear that. I'm speaking in general. Way before you played for Arsenal, United, Real Madrid, this one, that one, bro, you was from Ghana or from Spain or from wherever you was. Can't really turn it down, man. That's the thing of dreams. Zubimendi looked mid today. He ain't moved me once. It's dumb, but I just think he's a good player. I just think you're a very good player, and I'll have you at Arsenal, but I'd love to be proven wrong. It's not that I don't rate him, but I don't look at you and think, wow, it's a talismanic kind of game changer. You fit in, and your footballing IQ, you actually are what we need. But I think we need more, and I don't feel comfortable seeing Thomas Partey leave and just Zubimendi coming in for the middle of the park, or even that Napan guy who's more competition for Odegaard. But to be fair to Zubimendi, he did look mid against United. He did do very well against, England in the Euros. We have to get the summer right. Lautaro is average. Brother, if you can get me 15, 20 goals in the league, ideally 20 and whatever in all comps, I'm here for it, man. I'm past the point of winning the best thing since sliced bread. I just want to feel confident about whoever's leading the line. You're on what Saka's on, you're going to get numbers. Lautaro, I'd rather take Jonathan David on the free. Smelly, they're both smelly. Ideal signing for me would be Mbuemo, Isaac, Zubi, but you have to keep Partey since Jorginho is signing for a Brazilian club and we need elite experience in midfield. Can't we get ballers from South America? I watched the Argentina League. Do you really, though? I'm asking, do you really watch Argentina League? And it has quality football. Guys are scoring free kicks from 35 yards, bicycle kicks. I don't see that in the Prem no more. We need to go do the emerging markets because, again, I know it's changed and the remit of what these clubs are doing is very different to what Arsenal want to do. But Brighton, and if it was up to me, Brighton and Brentford, they can't have a better scouting network than us. We got to at least, at the very minimum, be in those conversations. It's changed, man, because we're not we just need to sign things, man. Zubimendi not leaving Spain. I don't think he can handle the pace of the Prem anyway. He got rinsed by the pensioner Casemiro. It looked dark, innit? And that's why on the best of days, I don't believe anything until a player signs, but add 100% tax to that with Zubimendi because 1 minute it's Liverpool, Bayern Munich, Arsenal, then I'm going and then I'm staying because I want to be going up the mountains and that. I don't know. Like, are you? And for me, it's you can ball, but are you a savage? It's like Frankie De Jong. You are a great footballer. I'd love you at my club. But when time gets tough and we're in semi-finals, God willing, of Champions League, and we need people that are going to make this happen, do you have that courage? If it's up to me, we get Barella, but yeah, man, it's not up to me. Would you take Belemba from Brighton? Yeah, but we're not doing that. We're not getting Bruno Guimaraes, bro. We got, you know what? I'll give you a bit of optimism. I reckon we got more chance of Guimaraes than Isaac. Smash the likes up, man. Them 40 short of where we want to be. Let's go. Jordan, tell them again. Big up the mods. The mods keep forgetting their jobs. Even Marcel, he comes in here. Oh, Arsenal. Tell people to smash the like button. Do you want the Super League? I'm past the point of caring, bro. I'll be real, Ryan. I'm past the point of caring. Like, I don't want to sound like I don't care about the culture and the people, but I think it's going to happen anyways. I think the Champions League is that in this, essentially. And I think they're going to bring it out. I just feel they tested the public. Obviously, they expected an outroar, but there's probably more of an outrage, which should be the right word, than they expected. It's going to happen, bro. There's too much money. There's too much money better yet to be made in football. And what's one key way of going around that? More games. You know, I'm not saying it's all American and all of this because it's not, but you're getting that Americanization. It's more games. They're going to, you know, everyone's going to bear different countries for preseason and playing in more tournaments. You know, you start getting cups made up where people are going to be playing in other countries. Club World Cups expanded. World Cups expanded. I could be wrong about the Euros, but I'm sure there was talk of that expanding. They're making up new tournaments as well, respectfully, like the Conference League. So, you know, not every player that plays at international level is necessarily playing in the Champs and the Prem and whatnot. So that increases the more games. Season tickets are going up. Merchandise, bro, it's on, like, you know what time it is. It's gonna just get worse. This is the reality, which is why it goes back to what I said at the start of the stream. If anyone deserves the money in football, it's the players, bro. And what they're making is pennies compared to owners of football clubs, the TV dons, all of these kind of things. And 9 times out of 10, they come from places like people like you or me. It's humble beginnings. Can he do it on a cold night at St. James Park in the track? Exactly, Marcel, you get it. Exactly. Like, I'm not interested. Obviously, I'm always interested in good footballers, but I'm not interested in good footballers at this football club anymore necessarily. Like, there needs to be a mentality change. Not even a change, but a change. Because rightly so, quite on brand with what Marcel said in the semi-finals at St. James's Park. In crunch moments, let's be real, like, we crumble. And that needs to stop. As much as we talk about injuries and the context for kind of reasons we was waffling about just now are completely different. I've seen us clinch a league title at Man United away with key players being out. And I've also seen it, you know, to get it. Obviously, injuries, red cards, all these things play a part, and we could bitch about the refs, pardon my language, all day, every day if you lot want. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. If you isolate red cards and whatnot, is that truly the reason why we are 12, 13, 14, 15 points, whatever, off Liverpool? Is that why we didn't get over the line last year? I'm being very harsh because I don't like first year we was fighting for the league, but is that why we didn't win in 2022, 23? It plays a part 100%, but when you consider that part and look at the rest, come on, you lot are smart enough. Bro, do we need a 40-man squad at this point? Squads are going to get bigger, bro. Like, squads, they have to. They have to, especially if, you know, if it was up to me, we're a team that we played at the very minimum in a final against Liverpool and Newcastle, and obviously I'd hope we win it. We're going as far as we can in the Champs. Obviously, the Premier League is a ball game in itself. So what? League Cup, Champions League, FA Cup, Premier League. So yeah, 4 cups. Need a bigger squad, man. Arteta is playing foolish games if he doesn't have a 30-man deep squad. I think all clubs, man. And maybe a byproduct is more young players. I think we should have got Milinkovic, Savic, or Coop Miners. Coop Miners would have been lovely, man. River Plate is good players. Enzo and Alvarez from River Plate. We just have crap scouts who don't do their job. Listen, as someone that's got qualified in level 2 talent ID and love scouting, yeah, that's not necessarily fair. You could be right, and there is fact. Sometimes the scouts are dead, but look at it from the other side. Sometimes when you're a chief scout or you're a scout, you could spend hours. In this case, you mentioned Argentina, right? Let's just say, because this happens. I spend months in Argentina. Forget the first division. I'm watching that anyways. I'm watching 4th division. I'm watching non-league. I'm going all around the globe. All around the country. I'm finding centre backs, left backs, wonder kids. I'm getting all of that. I'm spending all night, not just watching one game, because as you know, it's not just one game. He's a great player. I'm watching certain players multiple times. I'm writing up reports. how they react in adversity, like when their team goes to go down, their weaknesses. I'm studying these players and I'm filtering it back and I'm preaching the case to sign this footballer for his potential. You see, if the sporting director doesn't, or the chief, like if I'm just a normal scout, if the sporting director or the chief scout, the person who's like the boss, if he doesn't give it the okay, it doesn't matter. It's done there. You know, you look at United, Ralph Rangnick and all the men that are at United. It's a running joke with United fans. Not even just Rangnick, the people around them. They wanted, scouts were saying John Duran and this one and that one, but people are not taking them in. So you can find all the players. So it's not always fair to say that about scouts, if I'm honest with you. It's not always fair. Even to be fair to Edu, he wanted to try to do the multi-club thing. I want to see what excuses will be wheeled out at the end of the season by Arteta. Squad's about to be NFL size 50p. He's saying people coming on to just kick a ball. Chelsea are building a super youth team on less wages. We don't need to blow 100 million on one player. They're blowing £1 billion. How many active players do we have right now? To my knowledge, I know he was ill allegedly. Timber, David Raya, Mikel Merino, Saliba, Gabriel, Benjamin White, Lewis Skelly, Wanyeri, Odegaard, Declan Rice, Martinelli, Trossard, Partey, obviously Sego Jr., Cabba, them kind of ones, if you count them. Neto, default, Sterling, Jorginho, Kivio, Zinchenko, Tierney, who's with Scotland, I believe. Ben White, if I haven't said his name. Have I missed anyone out? Timber, the illness thing, it might be cap, man. Like, bro, if you respectfully, and not to talk about a guy's business, but if you got diarrhea and all of that, Timber, that's calm. Just take some tablets, you'll be right. You can get the flu. Maybe he's got the flu. Obviously, best of health. When I hear ill, I think it's a bit of a cap because it's too vague. It's probably a diarrhea thing. Like, just couple weeks, couple days, you're calm, man. It's Calafiori's one that you're like, oh, what's going on here? It's a bit scary. Smash the like button if you haven't. Big up yourself. Pitch Talk Daily. Apologies. I'm not counting players that the manager doesn't trust to play against PSV. When we scored an aggregate of 9+ goals, I hear it. To say they couldn't find a player in January was actually insulting our intelligence. No chance there was no plan B, C, Y for D, but I hear it. You're right. They ain't got a leg to stand on. Or if we look at it the other way, let's say they're right. You couldn't find any players. There's no players that can improve you. This, that, and the other. You're right. What's the plan B to cope with what we've got? Okay, make sure it works. If it don't work, I think it's fair to ask questions. Where are we going for the summer tour? I think we're going somewhere in Asia. You know? I don't think we're doing the America thing. I can type in on Google, Arsenal man said pre-summer. Pre-season. I feel like they made an article about it. I don't know. It's not saying on Google. Oh, well, this article said Arsenal's preseason tours revealed as North London derby scheduled in Hong Kong. So, well, yeah, we are going to Asia. So, yeah. Saliba cost France today, stink all over the shops. Don't think I didn't see Canary. That's cool, bro. I don't care about France. Like, that's cool. Tired, Marcel. Tired. Paragraphs for no reason. I don't care about that. You can do that with Saliba. He had a stinker today. Okay, cool. What? Run your agendas. You know he's still a bad boy. You know he's sick. You know you wish you had him. Big up Van Dijk, but good things come to an end, didn't it? Don't worry, my guy's going Madrid. And don't think I haven't seen Van Dijk drop stinkers. Don't think you beat Southampton and you're winning the league. Don't think I didn't see that. Don't think I haven't seen Gnabry twine him up. Don't think I haven't seen Bro, I've seen Reece Nelson and Lacazette do him dirty. He can fall off a cliff because his falling off is a different fall. That's cool. Saliba's still sick. Whatever you say, you know in your heart Saliba's still sick. He walks into your team. One of your centre backs, you know it's him and Van Dijk. So safe. There's not a team he don't walk into. There probably is like one, but Real Madrid won him anyways. You can say what you want about Saliba and Saka. You know they're lit, man. Boy, certain men are going to lose Van Dijk, Saliba. I mean, they're going to lose Salah, Van Dijk, Trent, Konate, Paris Saint-Germain. Alisson's cutting. Boy. Dead. Where's the quadruple? Dead. Out of Osimhen and Sesko, who do you want? probably Osimhen. But I like Sesko, man. But you need a lot of work, man. I think that's what Arsenal need to do. You need to grab the Nico Williams and Sesko's, because you're not going to get me what I want, or people at that stage in their career. You're not going to get me what I want. You're not going to go and get Isaac, and you're not going to be in Verts and Musiala conversations. And yeah, I'm all for scouting and finding stars of tomorrow and youth development and all of that. But it'd be nice to have players in the kind of win now mode. Marcel, you wanted the reaction, mate. You got it. Yo, smash the likes up. I'm sure, DG, if you stay in Chile or Argentina in 1 year's time, we are getting at least 2 ballers from there. How comes Benfica, Porto are able to identify gems? Because actually, listen, man, how you know we're losing them? You work for FFG or Michael Edwards. Marcel, I hear it. But in your heart, you know not all 3 of them are staying. That's all right, because what we're going to do, we're going to get screenshot tool out. It's too late in the United Kingdom to be reacted to Marcel, man. Every now and again, he gets a reaction. Bro, it's long for Liverpool. They're calling this season the last starts for a reason. DG, 2 questions. What other clubs do you support? And did your support a team beside Arsenal? Ryan, I've always supported Arsenal and 2 teams other than Arsenal. Jamaica, Brazil, England. And just after that, if you know, you know how the selection process to what teams were supporting in tournaments goes. If you don't, you don't. Who cares if Saliba? Bro, no, I don't care about Saliba's stinker. If Arsenal buys bargain players who ain't got status, would you be happy with it? Of course, I want stars and all of that. But if they work, innit? Like, if you get a striker who's unknown, like, I don't know, at the time of buying Adebayor when he's been at Metz and Monaco and it works and he becomes the guy we want, great. Whether we're going for the stars and the household names or the development of tomorrow, I don't really care. Just make sure, 1, you address the areas that we need, and 2, these are players that make us better. But we've not really done that. Obviously, you're going to be more gassed if there's a random Joe Blog striker that Arteta believes can get, or the club believe can get 20 plus goals, and you get, I don't know, a prime Ronaldo R9 for 100 odd million that can get 20 plus goals. Of course, that one is going to make you feel, wow, you're more familiar with it. I just want the right players, man. It's long as an Arsenal fan, talking about the left-hand side, talking about the midfield, talking about a striker, keep talking about depth. Repeating the same things, man. It's boring, man. So, yeah, let's just hope that we do what needs to be done. If not, we've been here before, innit? On that note, though, I'm not going to lie, people. It's late in the United Kingdom. It's basically 10 past midnight. I really want to shower because it's hot. And I want to go to bed, finally, people. So, yeah, it's been a long day. Going to see you lot tomorrow as usual. Smash the like button, watch it on the replay. Come on, people. Every like button boosts up the thing. I cannot get to 70k without you. We are tired of being underrated. But yeah, bless up you lot. One love, man. And Marcel, when Salah leaves, give me a go on the flanks.
Against this right back, Charlie, definitely.
Always